Well, we are at the midpoint of the second round of the NBA playoffs, and Devin Booker has been outright stupid through the 9 games he's played in these playoffs thus far. But how good has he actually been? Let's take a closer look from a historical perspective to uncover why he's low-key authoring what could become the best playoff run ever. First, and let's just get this out of the way right up front. He's the best player in these playoffs, and it's by a substantial margin. He is leading the league in playoff scoring per game and averaging 36.8, let's call it 37 points per game. But the high level of shot taking and making has been absurd by Booker in these playoffs. Booker is only shooting 6 free throws a game. For perspective on that, the number 2 scorer in these playoffs, Jimmy Butler, is attempting 10 free throws per game. Booker has an unworldly shooting split through a series and a half so far at 62, 51, and 87. I mean, we have to unpack this. 62% field goals, 51% from 3. For these playoffs so far, Steph Curry is shooting 47% from the field and 38% from 3. Actually, let's take Steph Curry as the gold standard, since to many, he is, quote, the greatest shooter ever, or the best shooter God has created, or whatever superlatives you want to lump on top of this guy.
And his name would happen to be Stephen Curry, the greatest shooter that God ever created.
During Curry's best shooting playoff run ever, the 2016-2017 season, which resulted in a championship alongside Kevin Durant, he shot 48% from the field, a career best for the playoffs, and 41% from 3, which is the second best mark of his playoff career. The best Curry has ever shot from 3 for an entire postseason was 42%. Again, Booker is shooting 51% from 3 currently. Curry has never shot above 48% from the field in any year of his career in the playoffs. Booker, again, is averaging 62% from the field right now. Booker, at least at this stage of the playoffs, is clearing Steph Curry significantly in every metric, including effective field goal percentage, which factors in the three-point line. In these playoffs, Booker's effective field goal percentage is 68%. The highest mark Curry has ever posted was 60% again in his gold standard season, the 2016-17 playoffs. But check out the true shooting percentage, which factors in every level of shooting from 2 to 3 and the free throw line. Devin Booker is leading the NBA playoffs and posting a gaudy 71%. The highest single playoff run Curry has ever produced was again the 2016-2017 run, where his true shooting percentage was 65%. And Booker is doing all of this with a crazy high volume, as he is attempting 23 shots per game currently, which is 3 more than any season of Curry's career in the playoffs, and 5 more attempts per game than Curry's gold standard shooting season in the playoffs 2016-2017. But I know, Booker has Durant to diffuse the coverage and take some pressure off of him in terms of double teams. So too, though, did Steph Curry in that 2016-2017 season. But Curry had a younger and better Durant, a Durant who led the Warriors in scoring that playoff run, while Booker is currently averaging 7 more points per game than Kevin Durant in these playoffs. It's pretty clear and obvious. The postseason run Booker is producing at this stage of the playoffs is better than any season the best shooter Steph Curry ever had. But what about the best player ever? Michael Jordan, no stranger to elite, high level, and efficient scoring. Omitting the first 3 playoff runs of Jordan's career, as he only played 3 games, and 4 games, and focusing on his other 10 years of playoff outputs. And Jordan's highest scoring playoff run was the 1989-1990 season, when he averaged 36.7 points per game, roughly the same amount as Booker is this season. That season, Jordan shot 51% from the field, 32% from 3, and 83% from the free throw line. all substantially beneath what Devin Booker's output has been thus far in these playoffs. If we look at the highest effective field goal percentage Jordan has ever produced, it was just 53%. His highest true shooting percentage in any single playoff run was 60%. Again, significantly beneath what Booker has been producing in these playoffs. In fact, just to show the outrageousness of what Booker has been doing in these playoffs thus far, Shaquille O'Neal only shot over 60% from the field in 2 of his 17 playoff runs. His career high for any singular playoff run is 61%, which is lower than what Booker is shooting this season. And Booker is not shooting the majority of his shots from 5 feet and into the basket like O'Neal did. Take a look at this preposterous shot chart for Devin Booker thus far in these playoffs. Those green patches indicate places on the floor where he is shooting over 10 percentage points higher than league averages. That's basically his entire shot chart. Booker is scoring at a level commensurate with prime Jordan's greatest seasons, and he is outshooting prime Curry by a significant margin. People have been comparing Booker to a, quote, young Kobe, whatever the hell that means, and calling him, well, whatever the hell this is.
And that's what I call him right now, the light-skinned Mamba.
I'm not saying Booker is better than any of these players or greater from a career perspective. Hell, I'm not even saying the Suns can win this series. And even if they do, they have a long way to go in winning the title. And it's yet to be seen that even if all of that does happen, that Booker can sustain this level of play. But if he does, sit back and enjoy the ride, because you might very well be seeing the best playoff run ever.